They put a lot of faith in Hoshi's telepathic friend. Oh look, there's a better plot right around the bend. So, where are these Xindi shipping their chemo site? And will it lead us to further plight? For us, that is. Or has Enterprise lost all its fizz? Told you it sucked. I got nothing. I'm Josh.
I'm Justin.
And this is From There to Here. Okay, this is season 3, episode, I don't know. What is it? Episode 7. It's called The Shipment. And according to Wikipedia, this is what it's about. The crew follows a trail of information to a mining complex, which is producing a compound used in the construction of a Xindi weapon, while Chief Engineer Charles Trip Tucker makes a discovery about the Xindi sidearms. And what do you have, Justin? Oh, wait, I forgot. What's it rated? Oh, what do we think this is? I think this is probably in the 7s.
Oh, I think so.
I'd say in the high 7s.
I think we even cheated last week and looked.
Did we?
I feel like it's like 7.2 or something.
I'm going to say 7.7. Let's see, what do we got here? 7.5. Okay, so what do you have?
Not a much. Let's see. Filming of the episode started August 9th, 2003, overlapping with the final day of the shoot for Exile, as the final scenes to be shot for Exile only required Linda Park for the main cast. The remaining cast was freed up to shoot scenes for The Shipment. The first scenes to be filmed were those concerning the subplot, where Tucker attempts to take apart the Xindi rifle. Filming resumed on that day after Labor Day with all the main cast involved. Most of the sets used were Enterprise standing sets, but additional sets were required to represent Greylick's home, the Xindi complex, and a forest and cave area. During the shoot, live footage was shot of the sets and was presented by Scott Bakula for Good Day Live in order to promote the series premiere, The Xindi, which aired that evening.
Good Day Live? Is that like a morning show?
I'm assuming it is.
Okay. For a second there, I thought you were going to say to provoke people into watching it. It's going to be like, they have to be so scared to miss it. So terrified. So this episode's called The Shipment. This one's okay.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
It's pretty good. Far higher step up. Well, actually, it's a step up from last week's, which was a total bore, which was Exile.
Exile.
Well, you were more forgiving of it than I was.
I was, but this definitely is an improvement. And I would have to say that largely rests on the shoulders of the guest actor.
Yeah. Who's incompetent Topa?
Yeah.
That's the same actor.
Yeah, same actor. He also played a Klingon in a Deep Space Nine episode, but I wasn't... Well, even looking at the title, I was like, I don't know who the hell he was in this.
Okay. But, the episode from TNG we're referring to is The Chase.
The Chase, yeah. Okay. He was the Klingon captain.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's his best line.
If it's biscuits you want, I'll send you my mother's recipe.
Oh, that line too, of course.
I like that actor. There's something about him I enjoy. And even though he was completely unrecognizable,
his voice is very distinguishing.
His voice is distinctive, but beyond that, though, there's just something about him. It read through the makeup, and he is likable and believable. So it makes the machinations of the plot interesting. Right. You know, had it been kind of a flat actor, the whole episode might have fallen flat, but he made it work.
Yeah, had it been the actor from Exile playing the Beast, probably wouldn't have worked as well. Not that actor wasn't, I'm sure it's fine, but wouldn't have worked as Greylick. That's his name, Greylick. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Degra, but that's the other guy. That's the other guy, who turns out to be a good guy, I know. Right. But right now, he's a bad guy. See, unfortunately, this episode should have happened like a couple of episodes ago. Like, they've had like 2 episodes of filler that weren't necessary. Well, and Exile brought us to the 30-second ending where Hoshi's like, oh, by the way, he gave me these coordinates to this planet. And like, oh, okay. Right. So we had to go through that whole episode just for that, which led to this. Oh, and at the beginning of this episode, we had a last week on Enterprise thing, which they haven't been doing so far.
Yeah, only to explain how they got the information that they got, which is
kind of irrelevant. You could totally have missed last week's episode and not cared. But do they start doing this from now on, where it's every episode starts off with last week on Enterprise? I think maybe they do because the plots start to become more integral.
A little more serialized.
Episode to episode.
Yeah,
I think.
maybe.
But yeah, they definitely should have started off earlier with this. Like, we didn't need Extinction. We didn't really need Exile. Those were just a total wash.
No, we didn't. But I do think something of substance should have happened in their place because
something, but what?
Episode 7, I think we're by introducing this guy who is one of the 5 different Xindi species, now you're humanizing the enemy already. Mm-hmm. And
is it too early?
I think it's too early.
Okay.
Even though it's just one guy, it's not there's just absolutely no threat from the Xindi at this point.
No, not
none
really
at all. And they really missed the mark. I mean, we should feel threat every single episode, whether it be from the Xindi themselves or from the anomaly.
So you think they should have had this plot later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I agree with your point there.
Yeah.
But they could have still had this plot earlier, but without humanizing the Gaelic character.
Yeah, sure, fine. Give me the same plot, just don't humanize this guy.
Yeah, let us run into the Xindi.
Or have it be a fake out,
or that
where he really is a dick,
Could be.
and then have some sort of humanizing later on.
Well, I mean, you make a point there about how the actor is the thing that sells it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's true. It wasn't in the writing because there's really no reason for either of them to trust each other.
Right.
What reason do they have? It's all on the actors. And even Scott Bakula. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whenever I'm watching an episode like this, or a movie, I've tried to put myself in the other person's shoes, not Scott Bakula's shoes, but the other guy. I'm like, well, this guy he's holding me at gunpoint. He could be saying anything. Would I believe him? Would you?
I don't know.
I mean, all Archer told him was like, oh, well, this stuff you're making, it's being used to make a weapon that's going to destroy my home planet. Like,
right.
Well, what evidence do you have? Well, he throws down a piece of could
have come from anywhere.
Yeah, he gives him a fragment of debris from the weapon. You're like, It's like charred. It's like, well, that could be anything. It's like, well, how am I supposed to know? You could be making all this up. How do I know? Maybe you just want the chemosite for yourself.
Right.
And the guy never really said anything like that. And you kind of expect him to, but he doesn't.
Right.
It's all of a sudden he just tells him like, oh,
he does accept it pretty quickly.
A little too easily. He's like, well, it's being used to make a weapon. Oh, really?
A weapon,
I don't like that. I mean, he needs to be a little bit more skeptic and then see some evidence that maybe is a little bit more persuading than he's willing to admit.
Right.
But don't make his willingness to go along with Archer a sure thing, because it didn't seem like he was gonna turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have felt like maybe we don't know if he's gonna do it or not.
Fair enough.
I don't know what the episode would have been like.
Me neither.
I don't know, but it was something. Thank God. Something in the Xindi storyline that actually went somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any writer's room ideas or?
Not really. I mean, by and large, I enjoyed the episode. I wasn't bored with it. Yeah. It moved along. The only thing I would say in retrospect on it is that maybe there should have been some extra bit with the reptilian and Degra when they showed up, like something to show just that, especially the reptilians are not nice and they're a threat. But nothing
that was in there.
Not really.
They were
menacing,
bickering back and forth,
but nothing happened. I mean, and it's really no fault of the episode per se. It's just that we really, really need to feel the threat from the Xindi, and I am not feeling it at all.
It was a few episodes ago when the reptilians boarded the ship. That felt threatening.
Yeah, sure, that felt threatening. But outside of that, it's just gone. And we already picked apart the logic of the Xindi plan as a whole. Going, why on earth would you attack a planet?
When we're just gonna have to disregard that now because
it is what it is.
Yeah, at this point.
But it's made the Xindi look stupid. And granted, we already know that Degra is going to turn out to be a decent guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no threat. I will say at least that Archer's, let me rephrase that, Scott Bakula's anger and like pushing of the mission and all that doesn't feel forced in this. It feels right. I don't know why. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but it doesn't feel forced like it has in other episodes.
No, yeah, you're right about that.
Like when he shows up and he's got the gun on the guy and all that, I don't know. I don't think twice about it. Whereas other episodes, I'm like, I don't believe you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So all in all, it was a good episode. I agree that placement wise, maybe this is not the place for it. The episode itself, yes.
Because we're not even halfway through the...
no. Maybe the episode itself fine, but not the humanizing of the Xindi just yet.
No, you're right.
So I wish they had saved that, and maybe.
Well, we only humanized one of them.
I know,
just one guy.
It leaves that, it takes that threat away. Just don't do. I don't think they should be doing anything right now that takes the threat away. You know, I think the episode would have been far better served to have the episode end with Greylick. You know, as soon as Archer leaves, you know, bleep bleep, he's been fed the information. He's on his way. You're like, oh crap. You know, they're heading into a trap. You know, something that gives me some sense that they're actually in danger because they're just cruising along with no problems, basically.
Yeah, I mean, would Archer be so willing to trust this guy? I mean, Hayes and Malcolm, I mean, even they question it.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't let him go, you know?
Yeah.
And even Hayes is like, tactically, it was a bad move. He's like, well, just trust me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
no, I agree. It's too soon for that.
Yeah.
That would be my only writer's room thought about it.
Yeah. I can't say I would have much improvement for it. It was good. Yeah. I mean, the dialogue was good. The character was believable. And thanks to that actor, really made him worth watching. But you do bring up a good point. It doesn't make me fear the Xindi at all. No. Well, do you want to get to Sebastian's comments about the episode?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay.
I don't think there's a whole lot to say. It was a decent episode.
No, I mean, I think we highlighted what we wanted to, but
and unfortunately, not really a lot actually happened in the broad scheme
of things. But I mean, because it's not like we're dealing with The Empire Strikes Back here. But I mean, it's a midpoint somewhere along the line, and nothing of. There was some consequence, but nothing huge. Not like the end of Empire, but so Sebastian writes, one, I would have wished Greylick was a recurring character. He never comes back.
It said in the production notes that Brick Berman said that the character was going to come back, but he never did.
Oh, okay. It kind of seems like they were setting him up to come back.
It kind of does, but never happened.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, I agree. It would have been nice to see him at least once more. He would be torn because he neither wants to betray his people nor help create a weapon of mass destruction. Would you have liked to see more development of his inner conflict? I think so. I think we saw that.
I think
here.
We did.
I think enough because he made a choice.
Yeah,
he did. He betrayed his own people. He even said it in dialogue. I'm betraying my own people. I do wish though that it would have been in the writing why he's doing that. What reason? He has no reason to believe Archer, who has kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Maybe if there was a reason.
No, I agree.
I mean, like in The Defector in TNG, Admiral Zarak had said there was a reason why he did that. He didn't let it out at first, but he said of his daughter, right? He realized I have to change the world for her, even if it means destroying my life. I have to do that. But this guy didn't. He didn't have a reason.
No, well, I mean, his reason
other than he didn't like his stuff being used for a weapon, but there was no.
There wasn't enough proof of that to really make it believable. And even if it did prove to be true, he doesn't know enough about the backstory to know, well, maybe Earth did attack our people. Maybe I really shouldn't be helping this guy. That he really does not have enough information to to act. You know,
no.
If the humans were the aggressors and caused the destruction of their homeworld or something like that, then he should, I would think, being a loyal Xindi, want to help that. But he's just taking Archer at his word on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And the actor makes you believe it, but the logic doesn't quite add up.
Yeah, it seems kind of like sloppy writing, though, when you take the actor out of the equation, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So, number 2, Sebastian writes. So, apparently the arboreals, okay, that's what the Greylock is an arboreal, right?
Okay.
Isn't that the species?
Well, I don't know.
Arboreal?
Keep reading. What does he say?
So, apparently the arboreals were inspired by sloths, then, yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah. And I love the idea. It's a pity that their behavior wasn't more sloth-like. Ooh, is it really a pity? You don't want to have them moving that slowly throughout the whole show.
The whole season's moving a little slow.
Exactly. Only in one scene does a reptilian Xindi complain about the slowness of the arboreals. I guess
maybe we haven't come across it yet.
Well, no. I mean, I thought he meant in this episode.
Oh, don't know.
Just imagine how much fun it could have been if this race did all things literally in slow motion so that everybody else would be annoyed. Well, that would be funny
for
once,
a minute.
like in that movie.
Zootopia.
Zootopia. They're at the
Do you
DMV.
wanna hear a joke?
They work at the DMV.
They're
I was like,
oh no. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was hilarious that they work
everyone did.
they work at the DMV.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, haha, get it. Probably offended everybody at the DMV who works there. Who cares? It was funny.
And then he turns, he goes, wait, let me tell my coworker. And they're like, no, don't start. And he goes, hey, shit. And they're like, oh man, we're gonna be here all day.
That would not have been the right tone to set for Enterprise.
Probably not.
No, but unless you're making like a Hot Shot style movie, then no.
Right.
Let's see. Sebastian also writes, at the same time, they could have been very proud and self-confident. Don't you think this would be an enrichment for the diversity of Star Trek's aliens? To have them be in slow motion?
I get the idea, but I agree with you that I don't think it would have helped the episode as a whole.
No.
Interesting texturally, but
texturally,
like to the texture of the species and all that. Yeah, sure, interesting
for nuance.
Yeah, but
okay.
I don't think it would have helped the episode. Honestly,
no,
it would have driven you crazy.
Well, not in the right way.
And you would say no one would employ these people. Like this is impossible.
Yeah. Okay. So number 3, Sebastian writes, every time I see the arboreals, I think Planet of the Apes. Do you?
It kind of looked like the orangutans.
Yeah, a little bit. I suppose they do. Yeah. Dr. Zaius. Is it just me? And should is it just me? And should the costume design have been more unique? I don't know. I kind of liked it. The makeup, that their gray hair gives them a quality of feeling wise. In my from my perception, doesn't it? Not for you?
I didn't get that impression, but they do seem friendlier, you know, even though their faces are alien. There's something kind of gentle appearing about them. Maybe the gray hair lends to that. I'm not sure, really. Yeah,
there's like, at least this Greylock guy, he has a grandfather quality.
But I think that's the actor. That's his voice. That's the way he moves.
That's true.
You know, like, did you notice how he reaches for things?
I didn't.
He has a very distinctive mannerism, whether it would be he was reaching for a drink earlier and then like to get something, and it's almost like he's reaching over something, but there's nothing there. It's like a hefty guy movement, like it's very John Candy, you know, and it's very non-threatening and kind of grandfatherly like.
Have you looked up what this guy looks like without makeup?
Yeah, I've seen him in other things.
Oh, okay.
he you can recognize him when he plays the Klingon on Star Trek. Yeah. You know,
okay.
But I mean, like, he was in Black Snake Moan, appeared for a couple scenes with Sam Jackson.
I haven't seen that movie in like 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but he is in it.
Okay.
I think he plays a preacher, something like that. But he's got this aura about him that I just kind of like. I don't know what it is about the guy, but there's something.
Is he a black guy?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess I can't picture him.
Here, I'll pull up a picture while you talk. What about you? Is there anything you would change?
Sebastian goes on to rating a B. First rewatchable episode of the season, in my opinion. So we asked Sebastian last week or the week before to give a rating. No, was it the week before? Can't remember. To give ratings to his episode. So he gives it a B.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to reveal what my rating is quite yet, but I think that's a fair rating.
Here he is.
Oh, okay. I recognize that guy.
There it is. Yeah.
I reckon I've seen him in other things.
Yeah, he gets around.
Yeah. I can't place it off the top of my head, but he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's
a lot of movies and
actor.
TV shows.
Yeah, I've always liked him. Oh, he's in Ricochet.
Ricochet, is that? Which one is that?
That's the one with Denzel.
Oh, Denzel.
And John Lithgow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one, but okay.
Anyway, he's in a ton of things.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, he gave it a B.
He gave it a B. Sebastian gave it a B.
Solid B or B plus?
Solid B.
Okay. All right.
Solid B. So at least an 85%.
All right.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on to our ratings?
Sure. Why not?
I'm going to rate it higher than a B. I think it's better than that.
Okay.
I'm going to say an A minus.
Okay.
I think it's quality. It was good. It was a bit mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
What is this chemosite? It was by far the most intriguing episode we've had so far this season about what it is Indy are doing, how they're doing it. Obviously, it's covert even for them. Like there's this segment of society, like this Greylock guy is just
he has no idea what's going on.
No, he's a worker. Yeah, he works in this mining industry. He doesn't know what it's being used for, and he's like, whatever. Like I've got a lot of clients, but these people that are obviously of the Indy government, they're not telling him.
Right.
But I thought that was interesting. It's not a unified venture, I guess you could call it. But that by far, yes, I agree. The most intriguing so far, although maybe they did, like you said, humanize them a little too much a little too early on. Because this is episode 7, and I mean, like I said, we're not even halfway through, and this is back in 2003, 2004 when we had 22, 25 episodes a season.
Right.
So we got a long way to go. Should be like Sebastian, save that peanut butter and jelly sandwich for later. Anyway, yeah.
Well.
Oh, did I say Sebastian? Bastion. Sorry.
I'm gonna say I was gonna say a B plus.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'll give it an A minus though, because it is a good episode. It's not the episode's fault that it maybe plays the nice hand a little too quickly, which I think is the only real fault of the episode. But it's not the episodes; it's the placement. So I'll give you an A minus on that. If it was later in the season, I wouldn't have thought twice.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I can fault the episode for is their use of sets feel a little too set-like. And if you want to argue with me and say like, well, TNG sets look like sets too, and I'd be like, yes, they did. But for some reason, back in the 80s and early 90s, that was acceptable. But in the early 2000s, not so much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I made a joke when we were watching it, saying, hey, they beamed onto the same set we did, because they're supposed to be outside.
And they're clearly indoors.
Like,
it's
can't you guys light these guys with a filter or something to make it look like it's daytime?
But TNG, DS9, they went on location sometimes.
They did sometimes.
Like they went to Vasquez Rocks. And
yes, they did. They did.
The Ryza planet, they went somewhere.
No, I know. You're right.
Yeah.
And
I mean in DS9, not in Captain's Holiday, that was obviously a set.
But even on Captain's Holiday, when he's walking around the Rice hotel, whatever, they brightly lit that thing. Yes, you're on a set. There's no question. Yeah. But I felt like they made a little more effort to at least make you.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Suspend disbelief.
But in these, when they went to Ryza in Enterprise, it looked like a set.
Yes, it did.
It very much so. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I don't know why. I really don't.
I don't. I wonder if it has something to do with nostalgia and how I'm willing to forgive 80s and 90s shows for looking fake.
Maybe.
Like, I mean, that was the sitcom era, right? Or a part of it. And, Growing Pains.
Do you think
Night Court?
Do you think any of it could have to do with shooting technology? And, obviously...
Well, they were shooting digitally, right, for Enterprise?
No, I don't. I think they were on film. I don't think digital took over until season 4.
Oh.
I think. But, I mean, Enterprise obviously had more money, Obviously, technically speaking, their sets and all that are much more extravagant than what we got on TNG, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe... Gosh, I don't know. Something, I don't know how to explain it, but maybe there was something in the way that they shoot it. Maybe there was a little too much confidence. Oh, these sets look so much better. Maybe, maybe darken it up. Maybe we shouldn't see it as much. I don't know. I mean, but it was shot on film, at least at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, when you shoot on a set, it's climate control and you don't have to worry about weather, of course. I mean, but still, yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I made a comment on it, so I mean, it was definitely on my mind.
I mean, and every time they go to a planet now, it always looks like they go to the same place.
But they just go to their jungle set.
And it's like, oh, this looks just like the Civilization planet from season 1,
right? Or
such and such from season 2. It's like, oh, well.
No, I agree. It does seem like they don't make as much effort to do on location stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every Star Trek series has done this, of course, but you're right, though. I feel like they got outside a little more, I mean, every TNG, D Space Nine, and Voyager, I can literally highlight the episodes. Every single one of them shot at the Tillman Water Reclamation Plant.
Of course.
They all did it.
You mean the Biodome, right? The Biodome building?
Was that the Biodome building also?
I think so.
I think
it was
in Deep Space Nine. It was Starfleet headquarters.
Yeah.
In Justice, it was where those people lived.
Yeah.
And then in Voyager, it was it was Starfleet Command again, because they go there when Chakotay thinks he's infiltrating species A472's.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And I feel like they use it in another place too. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's in the season 1 episode, I'm pretty sure, where they go to that planet, but it's phasing and they see it destroyed and okay.
What planet? What episode is this?
It was like the 3rd episode or something.
Is this DS9 or TNG?
Voyager.
Oh, Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Is that
blonde kid goes?
Isn't that time and again or something?
Time and again, something like that.
It's not a good episode.
It's not great.
No, it's not.
But I'm pretty sure
there's an outtake in there, I think, where someone gets hit in the face accidentally. I think it's Kate Mulgrew.
Really?
I think so. I think she gets hit in the face when she's not supposed to.
Oh, well, okay.
Like it was an accident or something like that. I could be speaking out of my ass about that.
I have no idea.
But there's some kind of blooper in there. Somebody gets hit and they're not supposed to. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, but it's also used in Demolition Man, I think.
Really?
I think it's
Is it police headquarters?
No, it's like the public library or something.
Oh, well.
But yeah, it gets used because it looks futuristic. It always gets used for something. It was probably in Bill and Ted 2. I don't know. I think. Isn't that their high?
It might have been their high school.
I think it was their high school.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they went to Vasquez Rocks.
That's true.
On.
That's true.
Just go there.
Well, they went to Vasquez Rocks because of Star Trek.
It's a tradition. Well, true.
Yeah, they should. It should be a prerequisite that everyone has to do an episode at Vasquez Rocks.
Yeah.
At least one. Yeah. Well, I mean, Voyager, do you think they went to Vasquez Rocks? And
I would bet that
whatever episode that is with Lori Petty.
That's the one I was going to say. I'll bet that's Vasquez Rocks.
Yeah, DS9 probably went to that area too, for one of those Jem'Hadar episodes or something.
I know
like
the episode, the ship. I know that was not there. I remember reading where that was, and it's not Vasquez. They had to have gone there. TNG went there. They shot. Who Watches the Watchers there?
Well, Enterprise goes to the desert in the 4th season. I know.
Well, they went to I don't know where they were, but they went to a desert in was it Desert Crossing?
Oh yeah.
You know, so like
that's true.
Sometimes they do, but it doesn't seem like nearly as much.
No.
I kind of wish they would. And I don't know what desert they were in. Could have been our backyard for Marauders.
Yeah, that could have been anywhere.
Yeah. Any dirt town USA.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Unfortunately, I think that's one of those visual things that really kind of hampers the show.
I agree.
I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe it was just commonplace at the time and it was acceptable. Maybe it's because we're looking back at it with these future eyes, and everything is. Maybe there's more realism in today's productions, and we're just not used to it. You know, they don't do sets like that anymore.
Not anymore
these days.
No,
but back then, I don't remember having a problem with it.
I didn't either, to be honest. So I think you're right. It does have something to do with the way we're looking back on it. Agreed.
Well, is there anything else you want to say about the Shipment?
I don't think so.
No. Unfortunately, there's not much for me to pick apart here. It's good. That we didn't talk about the B plot. We don't know where that's going, but the trip in the weapon.
Yeah.
I did not remember that part at all. I thought that.
Me neither.
Clearly they're onto something of being able to
neutralize their weapons.
Neutralize the reptilians' weapons.
Yeah.
Major Hayes was in this. I don't recall him being in one before.
Oh, he's been in it before.
Has he?
He was in the first episode.
Okay. Well, maybe he hasn't been in one for a while.
I don't think he has.
But he actually went on a mission with them this time.
And did nothing. Just walked around with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think he even shot anyone.
No.
Yeah.
No. But he was there. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Well, what's coming up next?
Twilight.
Oh, okay. That one's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Me too, to be honest.
Okay. When does North Star come up?
I think that's after.
Oh boy. We're going to go for up, then down, down.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll see you at Twilight.
All right.